Want to play yourself out of a guaranteed NFL roster spot? I've got two perfect examples for you. Come on back with me. Let's check this out. Hi guys, welcome back to JetsHQ. I'm Howie. Let's get right to it. Just like we said in the opening, how to play yourself out of a guaranteed roster spot by the New York Jets. So let's check this out. First of all, let's start with the big one. Let's start with Jachai Polite. Jachai Polite played for the University of Florida, and he was the third-round pick for the Jets, the number 68 pick. He's an outside linebacker / defensive end, so pass rusher with a lot of talent. Should have been picked in the first round, but after an amazing combine in which he literally offended everyone, underperformed, and basically showed poor attitude towards the NFL, sports, football, and life in general, the Jets were able to get him in the third round, which was, as it turned out, 4 rounds too early. After coming to camp and the combine tremendously overweight, Polite went on to underperform tremendously and accrued over $100,000 in team fines during camp, in which he showed up consistently late for just about every meeting, every practice, and everything involved with football. So his roster spot was taken by Kyle Phillips, who is a defensive lineman who actually wanted to be there, played his ass off, played with heart, played with some soul, showed up to the meetings on time, and basically outperformed someone who has 1,000% more God-given ability, but absolutely no interest in playing football. So congratulations to Kyle Phillips, and goodbye, farewell to Jachai Polite, who signed with the Seattle Seahawks practice squad. Good luck to Seattle. Let me know when and where you're going to cut Polite and who else's team he'll end up with. Probably the XFL, since they'll be starting next year. It'll be a good place for Polite to destroy whatever team he joins there. So thank you, Mr. Polite, for wasting a third-round pick. So that's one way to lose a guaranteed roster spot. Even everybody else in the NFL said, wow, it must have been amazing to get cut. A third-rounder from this year actually get cut, not even retained on the practice squad. So that's one. And the next one, Taylor Bertolet. We did have a subscriber who wrote me an interesting message the other day, wanted me to do an entire video on the Jets' kicking woes. I appreciate the question, and I appreciate the request. I think doing an entire video on the kicking woes might be a little much, because just sit here saying like I could show you every one of Bertolet's misses, but we'll spare you that trouble. But thank you to subscriber Andrew Yakos for the comment and the question. I appreciate it, and this segment is for you. So Taylor Bertolet was cut today, well, not today, yesterday, and in the second version of how to lose a guaranteed roster spot, Taylor Bertolet was literally in camp as the Jets kicker, unopposed. And during the progress of camp, missed just about 50%, maybe a little bit more of his field goals, more than 50% of his extra points, and lost out his roster spot to the tackling sled. That's right. He was cut before the Jets acquired another kicker. In other words, the Jets were literally going forward with their roster without a kicker. Joe Douglas said, I will find anyone else but you, to Taylor Bertolet. So thanks. It's really nice. I feel bad for Bertolet. I mean, he's a guy that can kick 65-yard field goals in his backyard. The only problem is when you invite other teams and people to spectate, he can't hit a 29-yard field goal. So that does present a problem in the NFL, since most of the games are not played in Taylor Bertolet's backyard. So anyway, the Jets did claim kicker Kari Vedvik from the Vikings who cut them. Obviously, Vedvik had an uphill battle fighting against Blair Walsh. That doesn't mean that he had a spectacular preseason. He was actually not bad. He went 4 for 4 in his first game, and then he went 1 for 4 for the rest of the season, the rest of the preseason. which is fine. He get a 55-yarder. Let's just put it this way: he can't be worse than Bertolet. He's got an enormous leg. He played at college out of Marshall, and he was undrafted free agent in 2018. Picked, actually signed originally by the Ravens, who then traded him to the Vikings. He never got a chance to play for the Vikings. He was on injured list all of 2000, the non-football injury list all of 2018. So he's going to get a chance to kick for the Jets. What better way to do it in, the opening game of the season against the Bills? I to be honest with you, I have a lot more confidence in Vedvik just taking the field and not seeing Bertolet get out there. That right there just gives me confidence. So that's a positive. We're going to give him a lot of support, and I'm sure that he'll do quite well. And when I say quite well, it means more than Bertolet would have hit. So I'm good with that there. The Jets did give, I think, a tryout to the Bears kicker who did the double doink at the end of last season. And thankfully, we didn't sign him. So we went with Kerry Vedvik, and we'll see how that goes. He also turns out that he can punt as well. So if the Jets get disillusioned with Lachlan Edwards and want to save some money, Vedvik can punt as well. He had a 48.1 yard punting average on 10 punts in the preseason, and I think seven preseason attempts. Guy's a big dude too. He's 6'3", 217 pounds from Norway. So you got a big old honking kicker here who can defend himself. He's not just a little kicker out there. So, we'll be interested in seeing what the big Norwegian looks like out there, and hopefully he will come through in the clutch and put our worries to rest. Further down the line, after the two guaranteed roster spots that were lost, there were a couple that were actually fought for. There was one that was almost a true just underdog story that came true. Greg Dortch, he actually made the 53-man roster, and then just when the cut period occurred, there were some people that came available, and he lost out to Braxton Berrios, a wide receiver who was cut by New England, and he's out of the University of Miami. We'll talk about him in a minute, but we did lose Greg Dortch. It is a sad thing. He was a wide receiver and a punt returner, and we were hoping to see him make the team, and he almost did. No, it was a really valiant effort. I'm sure he'll catch on somewhere. He's definitely got a lot of talent, and he definitely showed some real skill in the preseason, and we really appreciate his efforts in almost making the team. So he'll always be in a lot of the Jet fans' hearts since he was such an underdog. But it was a good try, and we almost had you. So Braxton Berrios was the wide receiver that was picked up by the Jets. He's a former sixth round pick by New England. He spent the last season on injured reserve, and he came out of the University of Miami. He did play 46 games for Miami during his college career, got 1,175 yards, 14 touchdowns, 100 receptions. He's 5'9", 190 pounds. He also returned 47 punts for a total of 488 yards, which was an average of 10.4 yards per punt return. So he's got that, and that's the reason why the Jets got him, because he's a little bit better of a punt returner. He's about the same mold as Greg Dortch, maybe a little bit better pedigree, having played for the University of Miami. So we're going to see what he does, and we'll see what kind of a punt returner he turns out to be. Further down the line, Val Holmes. People wanted me to talk about Val Holmes. Now, Valentine Holmes, as you guys know, is an Australian who came to play NFL for the Jets. Now, in Australia, he was a rugby superstar. He's got a lot of viral videos of him just destroying people in rugby, and he came to the Jets as a running back. He had an uphill battle. We had an awful lot of good running backs in New York this year, so really would have been tough for him to make it. I mean, it's impossible, literally, but it was really great to have him there. But he does come with one thing that not many other players come with. Now, having been an Australian star and coming directly from Australia and not playing for a U.S. university or anything, there is a program that the NFL puts on. The program's called the International Pathway Program, and that allows the teams to add a player from another country to their practice squad without using up one of their practice squad places. So the Jets, in essence, can have 11 members in the practice squad if they keep Valentine Holmes as one of them, and they did. They gave Valentine Holmes a spot on the practice squad, so they'll give him a chance to develop a little bit more, which is great because it's nice to get a chance to see him there. And always, of course, there's lots of injuries, and you never know who he's going to come in and fill in for. Anyway, just a shout out to Valentine Holmes and the former winger fullback from Cronulla Sutherland Sharks in the National Rugby League. Thanks for coming. I'm glad you're on the practice squad. And lastly, to speak about was Davis Webb. Davis Webb was cut, which was not a surprise. However, the team that picked him up was a surprise. The Buffalo Bills just picked up Davis Webb to their practice squad. And I did get a message from a viewer, Jacques Wilmore, who did send in a message that said that he thinks that this might be a move that the Bills are making to get information out of Davis Webb on our playbook and scheming for the first game. And it's true. That's probably what they're doing. And he'll probably give them the information, too. It's a good point, Jacques. You're right. This is done actually more often than you think in the NFL. There's lots of players who've played with lots of coaches and move around from team to team, so it's literally impossible to keep the information a secret. But you're right. That's probably why they made this move, and they'll probably get some good information. So we probably won't be surprising them with our Le'Veon Bell-based attack going into Buffalo this first week of the season. However, it'll still be up to them to try to stop us. Yes, they'll probably be able to get some verbal cues, especially since, as you said, Ryan Khalil is new and he's just learning them, so it's going to be hard to change them up right now. The line cues and the calls by the quarterback. So that's a good point. Something we should probably watch for, and we might even be able to use it against them if we trick them after the first half, if they're picking up on some of them and all of a sudden we change one or two and we totally blow them off the line and surprise them. We could use it against them as well. I'm sure the Jets are thinking about that. So that's a good point, and I'm sure we can use it against them if we do it right. Anyway, guys, thank you very much. Just wanted to do this quick update. The 53-man roster has come together. Obviously, it's always in flux and still changing, but the board behind me is done, and we are ready to go for the first game of the season. I can't wait to see you guys there. We'll be doing some live streaming, so please join me. Guys, if you like the video, please give me a thumbs up, give it a like. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Go ahead and hit the bell for notifications, and make sure you do that soon because you're going to want to know when we go live with the live streaming for the games. I'm looking forward to joining with you guys for this whole first season. It's going to be great. Thank you guys very much. Remember, you can find the link in below in the description if you want to send me something, a picture that's Jets related that I can share with the community. I'll be glad to do that. And also, if you want to contribute to the channel and help support what we do here, there's a link in the description below for that as well. Thanks again. I appreciate it very much. Thank you all for joining me, and here we go with Game 1. Can't wait to see you there. Remember, let's go Jets. I wish on stupid YouTube there was a way you could get people to join a group or follow along with you. Or hey Noah, Sam, is there a way on YouTube you can have people follow you or join your group or something?
What? Do you mean subscribe?
Yeah, what's that?
Subscribing. It's the little red button right here, and once they do that, they're subscribed to your channel.
Okay, so what if you want them to get like a message that you just put a video out or something like that?
Yeah, you're a dummy. All they have to do is click the bell icon right there to receive notifications that JetsHQ posted a video.
Mother...